Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Messier11 here once again, and if you guys didn't know, I am an auto racing fan and did end up watching the Indycar race at Pocono the other day. And for those of you that are racing fans, I'm sad to say that Justin Wilson, former Indycar driver and winner, has passed away from injuries sustained in that accident. He was 37. For you guys that don't know what happened, the leader crashed, Sage Karam crashed about 20 laps to go. Parts were flying off his car, and Justin Wilson was hit in the head by the nose cone of Sage Karam's car, ended up bouncing down the track, hit him in the head, knocked him unconscious, and he was pronounced dead about 15-20 minutes ago. So, I mean, Justin Wilson won 7 times on the IndyCar circuit. He was one of my favorite drivers personally. He was one of the great friends of all the drivers in the paddock, and you know, it just really brings the question at this point, which is why I'm making this video, whether Justin survived or not, is it time to get rid of the open cockpit in open wheel racing? People that argue it would say that it's a tradition, it's lasted over 100 years, and you know, maybe it's time to, you know, put a canopy or something over, protect the drivers from something like that happening, because in the past year, if you count Jules Bianchi's crash in Formula 1, there's been 2 accidents where, well, definitely in Justin Wilson's case, maybe a canopy would have saved his life. It probably still would have hit him, but at least taken some sort of the force off of the nose piece, off the canopy. So it's time to think: do we really need to go to a canopy? And to me, I would have said after Jules's crash that we didn't, because that's a freak accident. It's something that you never really think about, and you know, that's the only time it's ever happened like that. But in the case of flying debris, that's happened more often than driving into a crane, which was unfortunately what Jules Bianchi passed from. That was what his accident was. I believe that it is time to have a closed canopy. I didn't have that view before. Now I do now, because F2 driver Henry Surtees hit a tire, and it killed him. Felipe Massa a little while ago sustained life-threatening injuries from hitting a spring on track. And then James Hinchcliffe was knocked unconscious last year, had a concussion from flying debris as well in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. So I believe that this has been too many times where having an open cockpit may have cost somebody a life, or, you know, an injury sustained that probably affected their career or their life in general. I believe that it's time for, you know, something to be done. I mean, even Dan Wheldon's crash, maybe a canopy would have at least made his injuries less serious than they originally were, and that was also a fatal wreck as well. I believe it is time for a canopy, because if you try to make the car stronger, you're only going to prevent a greater injury to the driver involved. Parts are meant to fly off cars, to dissipate energy, to do all the things like that, but I mean, in Justin Wilson's case, and even Massa and Hinchcliffe, they're freak accidents. I mean, you're trying to get through a wreck, you're driving really fast, and all of a sudden something comes into the cockpit and hits you in the head, and, you know, it's very unfortunate when things like that happen, but it's happened way too often over the past few years, where I believe that we need a canopy. And I'm sure after this accident, I'm not the only one that thinks this. I know after Bianchi's crash, there were a lot of people that still said a canopy probably wouldn't have helped him survive that accident, which may be true, but I'm not going to speculate about that. But we definitely need at least something. I mean, leave it to the drivers. Have a majority vote if they want a canopy or not, because I know a lot of people have said, even Ryan Hunter-Reay said in Victory Lane, that something has to be done in order for open wheel racing to be safer, because that's 2 in 1 year. That's 2 fatalities in 1 year where a canopy, or at least something, could have saved their lives, or at least had less of an injury. But Justin Wilson was a great driver, a great friend to all the drivers in the paddock. He will certainly be missed. And, I mean, I think it's time for IndyCar to go and take another step and try and develop something that could be done. There's only one race left in Sonoma. They'll have a long off season to try and at least develop something, have meetings with drivers in order to have a canopy installed. Some drivers will definitely support that, but other drivers may say, oh, it's a tradition to have open wheel racing, and if you still accept the risks of open wheel racing, if you still accept the risks of open wheel racing, you'll still race. And Justin Wilson did accept those risks from happening. He said that after Dan Weldon's crash and after he had a bruised lung and some cracked ribs at Fontana a year or so ago, that he still accepted the risks of racing. And he did going into that race in Pocono. But now something really needs to be done. Ryan Hunter-Reay said it best. We really need to get something done. And I'm sure a lot of drivers are going to agree with him. If not, the majority will agree with him. But then again, the racing world has lost a great competitor, a great driver, a great friend. And it's really hard to process at this point. So, tell me what you guys think. It's a very serious topic, I know. Tell me what you guys think about open wheel racing, and if they need something to cover the head, because head injuries lately have happened way, way too much, and I believe it's time for a change. So drop what you think about this incident in the video. If you think we need a canopy, if you think we don't, I will definitely answer some comments if you guys comment. And that's pretty much it. So, hopefully you guys will comment, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.